Welcome to Tech Primers. In this video, we are going to see what is NLP and what are the different libraries which are available. And we are going to pick one library and we are going to see how it uses NLP. Okay, so as the name suggests, NLP stands for Natural Language Processing. So right now I have the Wikipedia page. So if you read about NLP already, so you might know that NLP is nothing but making your machine understand what we speak. So as a human, right, so when we talk in some language, and even if we have any mistakes in the way we speak, or the way we speak varies from person to person, right? So I might ask a question which the same question can be asked by somebody else in a different form. So how is the computer able to process that, and how is it able to relate it? So that is the way with which we process the language. So that is why natural language processing is required, because as a human our brain is able to process the messages, and it's able to identify that okay, it's the same question and I need to give the same response. So how will we make our computer understand that? So that is what that is why we use natural language processing for making use of computer to understand what we speak, and how is it able to understand and take decisions based on the question which we have asked. Okay, so that is in general what is natural language processing. So there are lots of libraries for natural language processing, and these libraries are evolving, right? So it's right now if you see we are not there completely achieved whatever we ask we can respond in terms of machine language, but people are working on it. So for example, Stanford has created a library called Core NLP. So the Stanford University has created a library called Core NLP. So that is a natural language processing library. So you can use that as a jar or dependent in your project, and you can use that library to achieve natural language processing capabilities. So right now we're going to see what is this natural language processing all about. So what do we do? So what does this Core NLP does, right? So this Core NLP is like a library, as I said. So it's just a toolkit with which has lots of analytical tools. So in order to understand a question, or in order to understand a sentence, right, we need to break that down and make the system understand what it is relating to and what is the context, and we need to arrive at those stuff, right? So for that there are different tools and different sets of analysis, right? For example, these are the three different analysis which Core NLP does. So one is the named entity recognition, the other is the co-reference, and the last one is the basic dependencies. So what these relate to is, if let's say there is a sentence, or if there is a sentence which your program is going to read, let's say your program is going to read a book, right? So in that, if the what is the first paragraph denote, right? So when it starts reading, when the program starts reading, it needs to identify, okay, what is the location in it, what is the person, what is this, is there any date, or is there any day, or is there any time, or what are the other fields which are relevant to what. So those kind of things are the named entity recognition. So if you see this particular example, president of China on this first state visit to United States showed off his familiarity with American history and pop culture on Tuesday night. So if you notice here, if you give this particular sentence to the named entity recognition algorithm, so it is going to split the sentence and give each of the fields or each of the words to the corresponding entity which it maps to. So for example, it has identified this is the name of a person, this is a location, this is just ordinal, and it has identified Tuesday as a date and night as a time. So these are intelligent capabilities for the algorithm to identify that from a sentence these are this is what this is, right? So this type is called named entity recognition. Same way for co-reference, how is the sentence related? So most of the time, let's say we ask a question to a system, right now if you see there are lots of bots in the internet, right? So you ask a question, it forgets what you asked sometime back. So it needs to have a correlation, right? So same way inside a single sentence, we this particular algorithm will identify the correlation between different sentences, so different words in the same sentence, or maybe across sentences, right? So that is co-reference. The last one is the basic dependency, so how each word is related to or dependent on others, right? So that is the basic dependencies. So these three are different tools for processing these sentences. So based on that, we can come up with different use cases. For example, let's say let's take a typical use case, right? Siri or Google now. So when you say a sentence, Google is going to do the same thing. So they are going to analyze your sentence and identify, okay, what is it what is that the keyword which we want to look for in that particular sentence, or what is the user trying to ask, or what is the user trying to tell to us. So that is how they identify. So these are the different types of algorithms or tools with which they process through the scan through the sentence which we tell, and then based on that they arrive at a conclusion that okay, this is what we are asked to do. So if they are not able to identify, that's when they ask more further questions so that they can proceed further. So this is the core processing logic of a natural language processing system, right? So you need to break down a sentence into different parts, and based on that you need to take actions, right? So that is the core concept of NLP. So we will see an example with Core NLP. So in the next video, what I will do is I'll create a small Java project with this Stanford Core NLP library, and we will pass a sentence, and we will see how this sentence is getting transformed into different algorithms, and based on that result set, we will be able to process or take actions based on that. So that's what we are going to see in the next video. So right now we saw what is NLP. So NLP is nothing but natural language processing. Okay, and Stanford NLP is giving a library called Core NLP. So it can scan through any sentence, or you can give it a PDF. You can give it a sentence, or you can give even a text file. You can process those. It can process those messages, and then it can come up with suggestions saying, okay, these are these, and do whatever you want with those. Okay, so that is what the Core NLP library does. If you have any questions about NLP, you can drop that in the comments below. If you like the video, go ahead and like it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Meet you again in the next video. Thank you.